Bulls Nation, another one bites the dust, another game, another victory. We're continuing the theme of winning. Got 3 wins in a row. The Charlotte Hornets, this game lived up to everything it was supposed to be. It was fast-paced, fast tempo, a joy to watch. But most importantly, the Bulls walked away with the most important thing, a win. And without further ado, let's talk about the Chicago Bulls versus the Charlotte Hornets in this video. What's up, everybody? It's the Aidan Sports Show, and welcome back to another video. The Chicago Bulls goes into the Charlotte Hornets arena, 2 games off the bounce, and walks away from the Charlotte arena, the Charlotte Hornets arena, whatever the arena is called, with 3 victories in a row. And it feels good. There are some things that I've heard about today that I simply am in awe of, and we're going to talk all about it in this video here. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel. Turn notifications on. Let me know in the comments below who was your player of the game and how happy are you with this win with the Chicago Bulls. 3 off the bounce now: the Dallas Mavericks, the Houston Rockets, and the Charlotte Hornets. And this one impressed me probably more than any of them. Maybe the Dallas Mavericks game is something to discuss about, but the Bulls today, this is probably the most efficient passing display, probably the best way we've played all season. The passing of this team, the Hornets had to play in a zone, and we fought out of that zone every single step of the way. We did so many positive things in this game in terms of the playmaking, the passing, and there are a few things I want to talk over with this game. Before we go into that, the score of this game was 123 to 110. You have to give credit to the Hornets for not folding, for not giving up. This game should have been a blowout, technically, for the Bulls. However, we kept the lead. Every single time the Hornets made a run, we bounced back with a run of our own, and we gave up. We didn't give up, and we gave a massive result for this game, heading into a back-to-back. Now, let's talk about some stats that I heard about from the Chicago Bulls that I am just absolutely stunned by seeing. This is the 3rd game, I believe, where the Chicago Bulls have gotten 30 plus assists in a row. I believe that's what the stat is. And not only that, we've won all 3 games. There you go. That's the first stat. Every single time the Bulls get 30 plus assists, we seem to win games. That's a very important stat to have. The second stat I want to talk to you about, the Chicago Bulls today crashed the offensive rebounds. It was a season high in offensive boards, and it really showed towards the second half. They could not get a touch in. And what makes this so surprising is they have Bismack Biyombo, they have Cody Zeller, they have PJ Washington. They have players that can rebound the ball, and we ended up out-rebounding them on the offensive glass by a long shot, and that is what cost them the game. The defense today, I think we got the most steals that we have, and we actually turned the ball over a lot less than the Charlotte Hornets. Those are some stats to be very positive about. The Bulls still turned the ball over at a fair amount, but the Charlotte Hornets were literally a walking turnover today. Every pick and roll they decided to do was a turnover. LaMelo Ball didn't have a great game. Every single pass that I felt like he did was a turnover. And in the end, the Chicago Bulls capitalized on all these things. And the stat that means the most, we have had 3 wins. Obviously, 3 wins in a row is the most important. The other stat is that we have set a franchise record in scoring 115 points this season. That's the franchise record. We've tied it. We've tied that franchise record, and it looks like the way that we're performing, we could definitely beat that franchise record. Ladies and gentlemen, those are just some of the stats that I've heard today from the Chicago Bulls and the commentary team. That is big. That is a big step in the right direction. This team is fun to watch, and we have so much more to look forward to with the Chicago Bulls team. And again, this victory is important. We have a back-to-back against one of the best teams, if not the best team in the NBA, in the Los Angeles Lakers. And it's going to be at home. This win means a lot because that brings that momentum to that back-to-back game that we have. And not only that, if we do lose to the Lakers tomorrow, which honestly, if you're looking at this rate, there's a good chance we beat the Lakers. I'm not saying it's a guarantee nailed on, but you can't rule us out of that game. But if we do lose that game tomorrow, then we have this game to bounce back on, which is a massive, massive, massive step in the right direction, as I mentioned before. Once again, let's go into the individual performers. The scoring on this game was so balanced and so efficient that it puts a smile to your face. So we can start off with Larry Markkinen. 23 points today, had 2 rebounds. Larry Markkinen was great on the offensive end, scoring. Had some very tough shots in the end as well, doing fadeaways over Bismack Biyombo, getting friendly rolls. Larry Markkinen was very, very efficient today with his 23 points. Patrick Williams came in, 16 minutes only for Patrick Williams today. I definitely think this was not his strongest game, and he is my must improve, but I will talk about that a little bit later. Only had 4 points today, 6 rebounds, solid rebounding night for Patrick Williams, one of his highest stats in rebounds. Didn't really play that much today, so that's something to look forward to as well. Daniel Gafford only played 19 minutes today, had 7 points and 6 rebounds. I thought Daniel Gafford played very, very well. We talked about foul trouble with Daniel Gafford. I believe he only had 1 foul this game. Very strong step in the right direction for Daniel Gafford. Let's talk about the big man, Zach Levine. Fantastic game from Zach Levine. 25 points, 9 assists, and 6 rebounds. Zach Levine is sharing the ball in the last 3 games, and he's a big part of this victory today. Massive, massive, massive shout out to Zach Levine. He's finding what works for this team. I think he's understanding slowly. There will be games where he needs to drop 30, 40 points. There will be games like that when the Bulls are struggling. But he's trusting his teammates a little bit more, and he's taking less of the pressure off of himself and more pressure towards the other players, and the other players are accepting that pressure, opening it with welcome arms, and are delivering for the Chicago Bulls. This bench, once again, was phenomenal, and Zach Levine was phenomenal as well. Kobe White, great night for Kobe White. 18 points, 8 assists, 2 rebounds. The scoring for Kobe White, the 3-point shot, still not there. Efficiency-wise on the scoring end, still not there. But what makes me happy about Kobe White, he pushed the tempo. We have a very fast tempo. Kobe White is responsible for that. He's a very fast tempo player. And he got down the lane, and he got his playmaking. He got his assists. He got his alley-oops. He got his teammates open. And he made some good shots himself with those 18 points. A great game from Kobe White. And it's a bounce-back game after 2 very poor games. I think he delivered very, very well in this game. I don't need Kobe White to drop 30 every night. I need Kobe White to balance himself. And this is a very balanced game from Kobe White. Garrett Temple, 15 points. 1 assist, 5 rebounds. Garrett Temple with 15 points. Once again, the bench was extremely good. I want to give a shout out to this bench. Shout out to Garrett Temple, who was phenomenal. Thaddeus Young came in and had a great night once again as well. 8 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. Playmaking was on fire. He was good in the post, and once again was a beautiful display from Thaddeus Young. Then we move over to Otto Porter, had 13 points, 2 assists, and 8 boards. Very, very, very solid performance in the 4th quarter from Otto Porter, and again shows the value of having him on this team. I'm really happy to see him back, and I think he really needed this game, and hopefully that carries over. Then of course we had the likes of Denzel Valentine, had a solid 8 points, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds. And then, of course, we had Tomas Satoransky. First off, very good to see Tomas Satoransky back in this game. He didn't have the biggest game. He didn't have the greatest game. But I thought he was actually very vital towards this game. He had 2 points, 4 assists, 2 steals. And in the end, for Satoransky, he did foul a little bit. But this is his first game back, so I'm not going to slate on him too much. Hopefully, we can see him pick up that, get his energy back, get his efficiency back, get his overall display back. It's fitness with him as well. He's been out for quite some time. So again, extremely good to see Satoransky back, and that was the team, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's time to move into the must improve player. And again, I am going to target Patrick Williams here. This is probably the first and one of the only times I'm going to give it to Patrick Williams. But I just thought, with the way that he played today, he had 6 boards, He was great on the boards today. His scoring wasn't necessarily there, but I think it's the decision making on the scoring end that really stood out for Patrick Williams today. Too many times he was indecisive on what he wanted to do with the ball, and he ended up getting a turnover, or he ended up traveling, or his foot was out of bounds, whatever the case may be with Patrick Williams. I really feel like he needs to decide, take the three-point shot or drive. It's very hard for him to make that decision, and it's like he's in his head a little bit. So that's the only thing I can say about Patrick Williams. Again, he's the rookie. I don't want to target Patrick Williams every single night. That's not the way that I believe things should go. He's a rookie. He will learn these things with time. But again, it is just one of those things where you see it and you kind of notice it a little bit more than everything else. And yeah, so he is my must improve for next game. Again, I'm not going to read too much into this. I think he's been very, very good for the Chicago Bulls. I really did think he was good for us today as well. But again, make the right decision. If he's open at the three-point line, just take the three. If you feel like driving, then that should be the first instinct. Don't second-guess yourself. That's what I have to say about Patrick Williams. My player of the game is Zach Levine once again. Zach Levine is getting all the player of the game for today for the Chicago Bulls. 25 points and 9 assists. Again, people have this, I guess, theory that Zach Levine is a ball hog. He's not a ball hog, and he's definitely not showing that he's a ball hog in these last few games. Averaging a lot of assists, 6+ assists in his last 3 games. He had 9 assists, and he had 10 assists in the last 3 games. It is time to put some recognition on the playmaking of Zach Levine. Now again, I'm not sure how many turnovers he had today. I'm sure if I look, Zach Levine only had 2 turnovers, and one of them was at the end of the game when he ran the shot clock out. So technically only 1 turnover, I believe, today for Zach Levine. Big game from him. One of the better games I've seen from him this season, and he didn't need to score 40 or 30 points to do it. Now, there will be games where Zach Levine has to drop those numbers, but I'm liking that he's finding the balance between scoring 30 or 40 to get your Bulls team close, or to find those assists, find your players, get your other players open and involved in the game. And that's why the scoring was so balanced. Zach Levine was a major part of that. The Bulls' record is 7-8. We beat one of the teams that we're in contention for that 8th seed with, in the Charlotte Hornets. And the Charlotte Hornets is a very tough team. And I'm not gonna hide away from that. The Hornets are a tough team. They were harder than the Rockets, and honestly, they were harder than the Mavs. Granted that the Mavs were short-staffed. So whatever you could say about the Dallas Mavericks, I think this was one of the harder games that we faced and won. So that is a very big step in the right direction. 7-8 for the Chicago Bulls, 3 in a row for the Chicago Bulls, and we have our back-to-back, another back-to-back for the Chicago Bulls at home to the LA Lakers. The LA Lakers are coming to Chicago. We must defend home court against the LA Lakers. I would love to beat the Lakers and go 4 in a row. That is what we should be aiming for at the end of the day. We need to walk out of these games beating teams we should be beating and finding ways to beat teams that no one expects us to win. Right now, no one expects us to beat the Lakers. But at the end of the day, the Chicago Bulls need to find a way to beat those Lakers teams. We've come close in the past in Los Angeles. This is the home turf of the Chicago Bulls. We need to walk in there confident, ready to go, and to try and score and defend whatever they decide to come up with. It's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy. This game wasn't easy, but we got the job done. Let's see if we can get the job done against the Los Angeles Lakers. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. I'm so happy. 3 in a row for the Bulls. Let's see if we can make a 4 tomorrow against the Los Angeles Lakers. A big game to look forward to there. It's always good to verse the bigger teams. And let's see exactly what level the Bulls are on. Have a wonderful day. Take care and peace.